morning. It's Ginny and Tim at DS Tech.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Discord campaigns, which I found interesting because I know I have a Discord, believe it or not.
Yep. Lots of online communities have a Discord.
I know.
Great,
It's a great way to communicate as a group when you don't want to use a Facebook group or whatever.
Yep.
But the gamers use it. So that's interesting too. I'm interested to hear about this Discord campaign that you want to avoid. And then we're going to also talk about fog ransomware too, which is an interesting title. So let's dive into that. Before we do, if you hear of any kinds of malwares like that you want to tell us about, drop your comments. And I'd love to hear. And stay till the end. I'll tell you how to get in touch with us and where you can get your free security assessment for your business.
Yeah. Perfect. So, the title of this one's, Malware in the Shadows, Discord Campaigns, and the Rise of Fog Ransomware. So it's meant to sound all spooky or whatever, but in
I like
reality.
The title.
So basically, we're going to talk about some of this stuff, the latest attack vectors, some awareness, basically, of this is happening, just so you're aware of it, and then ways you can potentially do to help yourself from becoming a victim of this. So basically, cyber criminals are starting to take over more and more Discord vanity URLs to redirect users to malicious sites that mimic Discord. So the idea is that when you create a Discord community group, say I have like a YouTube channel or whatever, and I join Tim's podcast, whatever it is, you'll create a Discord group. You'll have an invite link that you will post so people can join your group. Well, kind of like websites, like timsoper.com or whatever, it's not a real website, but like if I had that as my website, attackers commonly in the past would buy a website that looks very similar to your website and then trick people to going there. So then they maybe download incorrect things or bad things. Now it's happening on the Discord URLs where they call it vanity URL or a URL that may have a name that's attached to a known business or a known company or something, but it's actually an attacker.
Ginny.com/Discord.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, but it's technically like discord.gg/something with whatever. And then then you could make that your own, dedicated, like a Facebook group. When your Facebook groups first starts, you don't get to rename it, but when you get to a certain size, you're allowed to actually put your name at the end.
Because I can put facebook.com/groups/Ginny.
Yeah, exactly. If you could have that. So they're getting these things that are known, but they're targeting gamers and cheats. So an example would be like maybe you did Discord GG/Call of Duty. You somehow made a Call of Duty, and it's not the real Call of Duty official Discord. It's a fake one, and they're redirecting people to go there. And then when you go there, it is actually download malicious payloads. It says install this, join our Discord, whatever, and it's tricking users into doing bad things. So victims were tricked into downloading malware disguised as game cheats or cracked software. So there's notable payloads they have here. They say, async rat, which is a Trojan, and some skull steel or whatever. But basically, the vanity URLs, they take a registered or expired or unused vanity invite to redirect traffic. Users trust the links, assuming that they're legitimate server invites. And again, then they were led to fake Discord download pages, and then it didn't download the actual Discord. It was like Discord that was basically a virus. So this is popular among gamers, streamers, and the younger users who may not have security built in. Like if you got your kid who's just playing a video game and he's like, hey, I could download this cheat from this Discord community. They go in the Discord community, download the cheat, and now they're infected their computer with a virus. So it's, they're basically just targeting them because they're younger. And what they're finding is that these younger users could potentially be on someone's computer who's using it for hybrid work purposes. So that's really kind of the end goal is, they're attacking these younger kids with gamers and things. Are they going to have any money ransoming these kids? Probably not. But their goal is to find that kid who's actually playing on mom and dad's company laptop, playing Minecraft in the off downloading mods. And now if they have an info stealer on there and you actually worked on the same computer, typed in your Microsoft account, they may steal those creds and start trying to log in with it if you didn't have MFA and doing all kinds of things there. So that's kind of the main thing is that, they're doing Discord tokens and there was some browser credentials stolen. They're sometimes with ransomware, or more commonly use the machines to mine cryptocurrency, because if they're a gamer machine, they might have a video card. So they're installing cryptocurrency miners on them to use their machine and to earn them money. And so where does the word fog ransomware kind of come from?
So how do you avoid that? Or what do you tell your kids?
So what do you tell your kids with this stuff is basically let them know that you only use official mod channels. Like there's like Nexus mods, there's certain websites out there that are known in the gamer community to be like an official mod source where they vet their mods ideally. There still can be malicious mods even inside those communities, so you still want to do your due diligence. And the idea would be like almost like you're downloading a game in the App Store. It'll tell you how many users downloaded it. Mods are the same thing. It'll say 100,000 people have downloaded this mod and installed it and like it, or this mod has 12 people downloaded it. I'd avoid the mod with 12 users because you don't know, it's not vetted, it's not, let other people kind of do that, be your guinea pigs for you. And so usually sometimes by using a very popular mod is more safe than a random mod that's saying, yeah, use this mod to unlock all these cheats and things like that. So typically mods that are less cheating are typically safer, where they just enhance the graphics. They may adjust the game in a way that's not going to break it and cheat, I guess. So the biggest way you can keep yourself safe is to make sure that you do not let your kids play games on your company issued devices. Don't mix them, or if they're using a computer for gaming, don't use that same computer to do all your online banking or your Amazon accounting or various things with if you're not trusting it, because it could be, if there's an info stealer on there, it's going to get that data. So basically having a dedicated machine for gaming and modding if you're doing that type of a thing, and then having your other machine for work and for business and things like that. And so where they're going with the fog ransomware is it just because it was a new strain that was detected earlier in 2025, where they used legitimate pen testing and remote control tools rather than custom malware. So the analogy I use with this, why they call it foggy, is they're kind of blending in. So the idea is if I put on a construction suit, just a high-vis vest, walk down to a construction site, I might be able to get away for a little bit before someone's like, hey, are you actually working here? And they kind of kick me out because I kind of blended in a little bit. I'm using a legitimate thing. Or like, say you somehow managed to steal a police car and you're doing crime in a police car. They're like, what's going on? This is weird. It may take them a second to realize what's going on because you're kind of cheating by looking like some authority figure. So it's kind of like what they're doing here. They're using actual programs that have authority that like real users use, so they aren't maybe detected immediately by the antivirus and stuff because they're actual programs that are used, but they're being used in a way that is bad. So that's why they call it foggy, is they're trying to obfuscate what they're doing by using known programs. That was the biggest thing. So
interesting. So if you like, I don't know, the example I'm thinking in my head is if you were looking at what's running in the background on your Windows and you saw it, it would look like a legit thing. Yeah,
it could look like explorer.exe, but it's not. It's a fake version of it or something, right? Like
interesting.
And so the big thing too that kind of separates it is with traditional ransomware, they get in, they kind of lock everything down, and they send you the code and flash your screen and say, pay us your ransom, get your files back. The fog ransomware is really trying to do more credential harvesting and trying to be stealthy. So the idea is they actually get on these kids' systems or the gamer systems, and they actually aren't trying to encrypt it, blow up the machine, or make it act super slow so it's very obvious. They're trying to sit there and dwell and wait, hoping that adults will come on or they'll do other accounts and getting some actual information. So that's where, unlike smash and grab ransomware, fog starts with a stealthy surveillance. It tries to capture user keystrokes, screenshotting your screen, system network mappings, encrypts files only after mapping everything and exfiltrating your data. So they're really trying to get all your accounts, doing everything. Once they finally realize this is as much as we can siphon from this user, only then do they finally do the encryption ransomware at the end of it. So that is also common in businesses too, where they're trying to do like multiple things with it too. But the biggest thing is just be aware of the hybrid environments. So if you're an employer and you have some employees working remote, just ask them some questions. Do you allow your kids to play games on here? Because a lot of times it may be in company's policy, don't play games on your computer, but are you actually enforcing that? Are you following up with it? Are you actually using software that will prevent them from doing so? And there's things you can do to really tighten that up if you really want to. And there's security solutions you can put in place as well that we even offer at DS Tech, where you can install software on a computer so we can really lock it down to company resources and make it super secure for you. So but having that dedicated resource just for work, separated from home use, is the number one key that's hard for businesses to get to, because I get it, it costs. Like, do you really want to have to buy another 20 laptops for all your employees to have dedicated working remotely? You'll have to kind of make that decision yourself and the use case and kind of work that in. But that would be the most secure solution, is to have those dedicated devices. Same plays through your cell phone. It's harder. A lot of people have, can you use your cell phone for company work, things like that. Having a complete separate cell phone for work is also very secure. But again, there's enough extra cost, and you got to kind of weigh the risks and determine if it's worth it for you. So
it's probably worth it.
But it always is worth it if you can afford it. But at some businesses, I understand there's things you can do where you
I know. I know about the shoestring budget too. But if you can, it's the best way.
Oh yeah, because then you can lock that device down.
Yeah.
If the device ever gets stolen, you can remotely wipe it. Do all these things. Where if it's someone's personal phone, like you can't. There's this weird legal. Anyway. You just having a separate company issued phone is always the best way to go for that. Same thing with working remotely. Having a company issued desktop that's plugged in at the house that has the security software in it that is nothing else but for work purposes, or a laptop that can do both is definitely the key. So.
I like it because when I'm in work mode, I'm on my work computer. Period.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's true. You don't have all the distractions of all the other stuff on there too. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Point. Yeah.
Yep. I don't have the distractions. So my personal computer is separate from my work computer. Plug into my work computer and I'm at work. Yep. It's literally the same desktop too.
Yeah, because it'll sync if you have the M365 Windows suite. It'll sync with that.
Everything's there. I don't even have to worry about it. I mean, I remember back in the day. I remember logging into the AS400 back in the day from home when my kids were little, and it was a pain because I had to bring home my little USB stick with
everything,
any spreadsheets I wanted and stuff like that.
Yep. And if you forgot to do it, and if there was an emergency, you had to work from home, and you weren't planning to work from home, no, you didn't have everything you needed to work from home. So,
yeah. So it was a pain in the butt, but nowadays it's super easy. I mean, plug in my work computer and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I got access to everything that I have at work.
Yeah.
So
the biggest takeaway again is just you have a dedicated company issued device. Ideally, you have both a laptop, desktop solution and a mobile device as well, and then it's all into the company, so it's super secure, and that should be the way your end goal should be for all your staff to have that. And then you'd be protected and all your company assets. Can be configured.
And as far as your home computer and your kids, just educate them on
talking about education is fine, and go into it without the accusatory tone of don't do this. Just be like, what are you using? Actually make it sound cool. Like, I'd be interested. What kind of mods are you using? Talk to them about it, and then just explain that, these mods are popular. These ones aren't. These ones are more safe because they're popular versus these ones aren't because it's, things like that.
And if you don't know, your kid might know who the reputable ones are for real.
Yeah.
So if you have that discussion, it's always good to have that communication open with your kids anyway.
For sure.
So I think that's it, eh?
Yeah, that's about
it. Make it a great day. Drop your questions and visit our website. If you put /free assessment, you can sign up for one of our free security assessments. But if you just want to get there, just drop a question mark or something, and I'll get you over there.
Comment somewhere, we'll get you.
Absolutely. Drop your comments. I'd love to hear stories from you about anything that you've experienced like this. So,
or what are some of the mods you like to install?
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm curious too, because my kids still play games.
Yeah, I still play games every once in a while. So,
All right, make it a great day. We'll see you next time.